Hello everyone, hope you're well. This is Ibrahim here from Broadband 9, and today we're going to review or actually go through the portal and how things work with the SuperOps AI, RMM and PSA platform. So we are an MSP and we have clients of our own, and we also have a collaborative approach with other MSPs. We talk about tools, systems, things that we use, and this is always a hot topic. What do you guys use, or why is it better? Who to stay away from? All these other little things. Um, and one of the things that came up on my searches was SuperOps AI. So I thought we'd go ahead and just have a look at it. And actually, I started to like it quite a lot with some of the things that it has, some of the features. With the ticketing tools and with the RMM. Also, its UI is quite nice. The documentation side of things is good, it works. Project management is also quite nice as well, with its templates and everything like that. So, these guys have had funding, they've gone, and they've created this amazing tool, and it goes well. Now, I know I'll be saying positive things in relation to what I'll be showing, but I'll also point out some of the things which I'm thinking aren't very good, or maybe that could improve on. Now, I'm not being paid for this, I don't have a sponsorship thingy. Who knows? We're considering moving over to them, so potentially, if we do decide that, then we'll sort of go from there. Now, one thing I wanted to go through was some of the features that they sort of go and mention on the website. Runbooks is quite a nice feature which we will look into how it's a bit more than just automation. There's a few other things that happen in that. But for me, and as many of us, we're always sort of interested. The first thing is does it integrate with what I have already out there in the field, right? So does it integrate with my backup platform or billing system? I hate billing, I'll be honest with you. I absolutely hate it, and hate's a strong word. So we have to make sure that our business model is adopted by any PSA or RMM tool that we want to have integrated with what we use for our accounting and etc. So the website is quite nice. It talks to us a lot about all the different features that it has. So I thought, fine, let's go ahead and give it a bit of a whirl. So we set up a trial account. So what I'm gonna put it onto the other screen, and you'll be able to see me as well. To be honest with you, this is one of my first videos I'm really doing on YouTube. Please go easy on me. I do not know how to do all this editing things, but all I want to do really is just talk about the platform, see where I like it, where I don't. Now I've already gone ahead and signed up for the trial. I've added a company on the platform, and I've also added one of our sort of test assets on there. And so I'm gonna sort of dive straight into it and just show you basically a bit of a walkthrough in that way. So I'm just gonna go to the other scene on this. There we go. Now you can see me as well. Fantastic. Now this is a web app, right? So you go onto it, and this is the home screen. Now the first thing I saw when I sort of loaded it up is it had this sort of tab system. Okay, so it's got tabs within itself. So when we start browsing about things and clicking on things, various different tabs are opening up, so you can go ahead and click on them and go back to where you were, which is a really nice feature, because as opposed to opening up many Chrome tabs, you've just got the RMM tabs within this single browser. So that was quite nice. Now this home section you can actually edit, and obviously you've seen I've got no tickets in here, nothing. Maybe we'll create a few and then we'll be able to see them. So this is like your dashboard, you could say, your home dashboard, where you can change the size of things. You can add separate things on. When you actually create something called views, which we may do in later in this video, you can have certain views to appear, which is basically filters. Now they have this widget library. Now, in all honesty, there's not a lot on there that I was hoping. Like, there's asset views, which is fine, patch management, ticketing, and any mentions. which I guess is okay for something to put on to your home. You know, let's just say the latest patches, right? So we'll put them on there now. If I make that teeny weeny bit smaller so I can fit it on, let's just say we pop that here, made it a bit more bigger. Now it's all right. I guess it could probably benefit from it being a bit more widescreen. So the snapping, you know, moving things about, that works quite nicely. You can see the patches that need doing, and you could click into them. Now obviously when you have an estate where there's a lot of machines or a lot of assets, that's probably going to grow, so probably not having that best on the main screen. I think if you go ahead and make it really, really small, it just gives you a number, which is quite nice. What's this button do? Oh, nothing. Great. So I do wish they had other things on here, more relating to some of the, I guess, you might be able to do that in asset views. I was going to say something like antivirus status or how many is installed or whatnot, but we might be able to create an asset view, which is like a filter, and then click on that, and we'll probably be able to have that on here actually. So I'm actually going to go from home and click on this modules tab. Now in the modules, we've got a few different areas where we can actually do our day-to-day tasks and things. Obviously we've got the tickets, tasks and projects, assets, alerts, patching, scripts. As I've not done a lot of testing on the scripts, we do use scripts quite a lot, and we'll just have to see how that goes as well, to be honest with you. So we can see our clients, contract templates. This is one of the things I really like about SuperOps, is the way that you can have, you know, it's really good as a PSA. So all your contracts and the start days, the end days, all the subscriptions that fall under that contract, who's responsible for it, etc. Now, yeah, so invoicing, audit, and invoices. This is always a big thing. So the way it works is things happen, whether it's things that need to be raised for an invoice, or you know, people have created a ticket, and on the back of the ticket an invoice is raised, etc. So you get like an invoicing queue, which we're going to look at soon, and we'll be able to see what needs invoicing and sort of what doesn't. Now, although I messed around with this software or the app quite a bit over today and yesterday, I'm still learning it, so I guess we'll sort of learning it together. Now by the time, you know, if you guys ever were to trial it or see it, they're always doing updates and things. They've got a roadmap section, which I will show you as well, and sales inbox, which is obviously like an inbox. So you've got sales at whatever, for example, and you would just set a forward up. The IT documentation and the reports. The reports is quite nice, I would say. They're still making more and more cool features on there. You can do scheduled reports, etc. The IT documentation is there for us to go ahead and put internal or client-facing, not client-facing, but documentation for clients on there as well, which you can associate them to it. So let's go ahead and I'm not going to start from the ticketing system bit first. I'm just going to show you the client area. Okay, so obviously I've just put one on there at the moment because it's just for us to sort of test. So, you know, you would have the clients listed here. The nice feature is you can actually import loads of clients from one thing to another. So, okay, now clients is a company and requesters are actually staff within that company. That's how I look at it. So those who are going to be raising tickets, or those who are responsible for approving tickets. The ticketing system, when we get around to looking at that, let's just say there's a request for a new user, right? So what will happen is someone's requested that a new user is added. If someone above them in terms of their manager or lead needs to go ahead and approve it, then they can go in on their client portal and approve that ticket as well, which is really nice. It's great for like a process driven company who wants to make sure everything's audited and approved at the same time. So you can import clients, and you're also able to import via CSV requesters. Now this is the cool thing within clients. So I'm going to go back to CSV import in a second after I show you this. So right, let's go ahead and click on the client. Now as you can see at the top, we've got three tabs now. We've got the home, we've got the clients, which we were on, and as I'm going through, the tabs are opening. Let's go back to this tab. I have created a couple of custom fields okay, and I don't really want this video to go massively long where you guys get bored, but I'll try fitting that in where you can create custom fields for clients and tickets and the rest of the other bits. So now that I have sort of custom fields, I can select what sort of package they're on. Let's just say if they're MSP partner, the ad hoc IT, let's just save it as ad hoc IT. When you do a CSV import, client import, you get a really nice view like this where you can actually manually type in things, or you can upload the data. Now, as you can see here, we are also able to import the data of clients using custom fields that we've created, right? Which is quite smart because you know, you don't want to be importing you don't want to be editing the custom fields of a particular client's or client even you know, after you do the import. Like if you have 50 or 100 clients, that's going to take you a long time, right? So you could just do it with this within the CSV import. Let's go back onto our test company. So now we have this main area. Technician group, you can create groups, so you know, you can assign them. You know, I've just created first, second, third line. You can have different type of groups as well. Secondary contact, let's just put this company, assign it to first line help desk. Therefore, these guys are responsible for this company. Maybe if you've got a large help desk system team, and some of them look after a certain type of products, a certain level of customers. Maybe you've got residential customers and business customers. You want them to be looked after by different groups. You can do that. One group can have multiple technicians, and they can overlap in that way as well. Email domains is when we go ahead and enter in the domains of the company's email address for ticketing purposes. So when tickets come in to the email box with their domain inside, then it will automatically allocate that to this company and create a requester. Okay, now this requester's person who is able to log in, who is recognized as a staff member, who we can also assign assets to as well. Back to info. We were able to obviously see a bit more information in relation to invoicing, tickets, conversations. Now this is really cool, right? Because I like the way they've done this, and I really like these little emojis and things. I don't know, I'm a big emoji person. So we can create an email straight from here going out, you know, from the mailboxes, which are configurable in the settings, and I can send it to, you know, a specific staff member. I can say you know, something like I don't know, please reboot your machine, okay? And I can say, hi, you know, notice that you have, you know, your machine is rebooting, please reboot it, something like this, right? And we can go ahead and send that. Obviously we can do the normal email things, which is oh look, I can create users as well at the same time. So we can go ahead and send that. Now when you go ahead and click on a conversation, you're able to see, like you know, let me just move my, can I move my face out of the way? No, I can't. Hang on, that's the wrong thing to do. Yeah, there we go, right? So we're able to see like a little bit of a log. Now this is really cool because I don't know, I just like the background as well. But we can enter description, you know, send them information, send them details. Obviously the little chat button is currently covering the send button. That's another thing as well. I had some issues, and their support is really good. Like you just click on it and you can actually just get in contact with some of them. I can see some of you know, some of the potentially things that I spoke about yesterday on here, and that was pretty cool. So we can see the conversations that go to and from, you know, sent mailbox, sent items, etc. The thing is, this doesn't actually integrate with your Office 365, or it doesn't need SMTP credentials. The way it works is it's able to send information and send emails from here, but any incoming emails would get forwarded to the email address that they provide, so they know which mailbox it goes to. Which I think is good, because sometimes ticketing systems, when you put in your SMTP credentials and something's happened, you know, with them, your password is expired or there's an issue, whatever, then this causes a bit of an issue. Invoicing. Now, I don't know whether to come back to this invoicing bit at the end, right? And the reason being is because it makes sense when we actually show the other bits around invoicing, like the integration with accounting platform. Now currently I have a test account with Xero, which is, you know, like QuickBooks, Xero, etc., the accounting platforms, and I've integrated that with here to be able to do two things: map the clients and also map the service items for reconciliation purposes. So I think we should come back to the invoicing bit later. It's also a bit where I often sort of forget where things are. So we have a great contract here with our client called Disavijafijafid. It's a great contract name. And then we can also put in the start time, start date, any discount, subscription items in relation to this contract, so a service catalog. Now these two items are actually pulled from Xero. When as soon as you do a Xero integration, it will ask you which items do you want to do it. So let's just say we've done that, right? We've pressed done. Yeah, we just put a random price in here, £45. Okay. Now I don't know how to. Okay, wait, that's fine. You know, I'm trying to see. There we go. Quantity 3. So it's already pre-filled a few of the things out. Let's just press done. Right. Custom pricing of other things, service level agreements. This is really, really cool. We can associate in SLA. So I've just made some package SLA up, and we can press done for that as well. Now this SLA, when I click on it, obviously it's opened up another tab, and it's actually, you're able to, this is one of the things of work which I really like, define your first response and, you know, what happens when you escalate, and when your target resolution times are for the different priorities. Now the priorities here, they are in accordance to the impact and also the urgency. So there's like a little table which I'll see if I can find, where it says impact high, urgency high. That means it's a critical priority, you know, like that. So there's a bit of a table that defines a priority thing. So I just put 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, escalation rules in here as well. And we can also see here on this policy as to which clients may or may not have, at the moment they haven't been associated to this service level agreement. Let's go back onto here, and whatever else. So I have noticed, that's one thing which maybe I need to point out, is when we open up something and then go back to the tab, it does remove any of the things that you've tried doing. So obviously when I opened up the SLA purple thingy, these little dates and the association with subscription, it got lost again. But it's fine. This is mainly just to show you guys what's available to do. Sites. Let's move on. So sites is cool because obviously some clients have multiple sites, and sometimes requesters, aka clients, they staff members are associated to different sites. Like you've got a site manager, you'll have people that, you know, are situated in different things in different places. Now it looks like if I add another site here, right, let me just see if I can do that. I want to see, yes, it looks like there's an agent for each site. Now personally I think that's a bit, I don't know, because let me just move that over here. Yeah, let's move it over there, right? Because, you know, if I've got 15 sites, I don't really want to be looking at 15 different configurations of the agent. Do you get me? However, you can also move requesters from site to site. So this is me. So let's just go into this requester. Let's go ahead and press edit. We can move them from here. So I can just move them like that, right? So you don't have to use a different MSI or installation package of the agents for each site. You can just have one main head office one and potentially just move that requester later, at a later date to a different site. Okay. Now, okay, let's do that. Let's go into requesters, and I want to show you something, right? Now obviously we can choose managers. Obviously at the moment I only have this one requester, and the role here is client admin. You can create your own roles, and give them their own sort of access permissions to what they are able to do on the client portal. And you've got requester and you've got approver. So this client admin, so this email address is now a client admin. I'm going to press save. Well, it's already like that, and I'm going to move over to my other screen, and we will be able to see what it looks like when they log in. Okay, this is quite exciting. This, I don't know, I get excited. I always like giving my clients the ability to have a portal or something they can log into and do stuff with. So let's move over. Ooh, look at that. Do you see that transition on OBS? All right, yeah, okay. Anyway, so now hello@broadband9.com has logged in to the support URL, and they're able to see all the tickets because they are a client admin. Now what I am going to do halfway through, I'm going to change their role to the requester one, and we'll see what they don't have access to anymore. We can see my tickets, and we can also see tickets that are waiting for my approval. We can also see projects. Now this is an amazing plus point for me, right? Because when we have projects going on, I really want the client to sort of see our status or stage so they can feel comfortable that we're doing things. One of the main problems is with techies is they'll be doing stuff, and because they're not informing the customer doesn't actually know, or they can't actually see any progress happening. So if they're able to log in and view the project, that's beautiful. Company, they're able to, I don't know if they can edit. No, I think, what's this? What happens if you do that? Oh no, that's just something in my edge. Site requesters. Ooh, you could. So the client admin can add requesters themselves, right? So if they have new staff members and they have a HR team that basically says, well, you know, so they could go ahead and create accounts for their own requesters, and they can also, looks like, choose which role they want to be on and who their managers are. Now I think that's pretty neat. You can also edit the ability to be able to do what I just did there as a client admin within the permissions options in the SuperOps settings. Okie dokie. It looks like I can't edit these site details, but I think that's again due to permissions. Okay, and again we can now create new tickets as well. We can choose forms. Now if they obviously in us, how we would do things is we would have a normal generic IT support ticket form, and we probably have another form for certain things, for example employee onboarding, right? So we've got a form for that where they go ahead and press it, and they'll be able to enter in the new employees details, what access they're going to need, what level of other things they're going to need, etc. Okay, now this is cool. Did you know that, well obviously we'll go through it, but this client admin or requester admin can actually can be an admin of multiple companies. How cool is that, right? So obviously right now we've got Broadband 9 company, but if in a scenario where you have one person who is like a group, you know, admin, and they have multiple companies but they need to be separate from a billing or from a management perspective, but it's one person who's actually doing the ticketing and all these other thingamabobs, they can drop down and choose any other company that they want to raise a ticket for. They don't have to have separate accounts. Now for me, I think that's amazing, because normally you would have an admin user and you can't really associate them with other companies that they are managing. So create, yeah, that's the ticket thing. Again, this is just to do with the settings. Okay, so that is the part as a client admin. Now on my other this section here where we've got the client admin, I'm going to go ahead and change the control to a requester only. So now let's just press save. Okay, now let's go back to our other thingy browser, and let's just press refresh. As you can see now, they are missing an area, you know, where they could do stuff. They can still create a ticket though, but they can't choose the company, right? So now certain levels of restrictions have been removed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit the thingy and change it back to client admin. Let's press save. Let's go ahead and refresh this bad boy, and we are also now able to see more information relating to company, which is invoices and the different staff members and requesters that they have, and also conversations as well, which is pretty cool. So let's go back to the portal here. Documents. We can upload documents, obviously, just upload them on here. Now I had a call with them, like a demo call, and I said, look, sometimes I want to upload documents here, and I also want them to be able to access that from the client portal. That would be cool, right? If you upload a I don't know, something that they might want to be able to download at times, but you don't want to just send it over email. Let's just say how to raise an IT ticket document, right? That's tailored for them, that they could print off, put it on the walls or whatever that they want to do. So it would be nice for them to be able to have that as something that they could download. So they said they're looking into it. They want to do, they want to be able to provide that access. And I said the same thing about the documentation tab here. Now, passwords, you can associate passwords to companies and associate passwords to assets, where you're able to sort of see things, put it in different categories. This really falls under the documentation module, right? So if we go onto IT documentation, and I can create a new IT document. So let's just say so this is like creating new types of documents using a template. So okay, let's do it where we want to create a templated document for servers, right? So let's add a multi-select on here, and we're going to name the field, if I can actually name it, we're going to name the field type of server, right? And multi-select, so we're going to say physical, virtual, clouds, maybe with like Azure, for example, or another one with AWS, something like this, right? Something like that. Let's press save, right? And we also want our engineers, when they're doing documentation, to have a rich text area where they will be able to put information, spell it right, about that. So let's save this. Okay, asset, enter asset category name. So let's just say servers docs. Now when I go to server docs, I will create a new server docs document, and now we can choose our client, we can choose the site, we can say which server is for, we can put in the information we needed, and maybe we can put in the server host name. So server dot, I don't know, fully example.office.com, right? So let's press save on here. Now I've associated that to obviously the client, and I can also filter my clients and see. So if I go back onto the documents, I can see here that server docs, there's one here as well. Great, isn't it? And same with the password one as well. So this password one was actually pre-built on here as well. Ooh, look at that. I can associate a password with a server docs. It's pretty nice. Yeah, cool. Well, looks alright that. Let's go back one. Okie dokie. So, IT documentation. So that was good. Now, one of the things that they are working on is providing IT documentation to the client portal. Now, the only reason I would see this as a benefit as well is some IT companies would like for that transparency, and so then they can go ahead and download and whatnot. But sometimes you want to be able to share out passwords to the client admin as well. Let's just say there is a password for the Wi-Fi, for example, that they have. You know, you're able to put that onto here. You know, Office A for broadband 9. I don't know, password. Share that on. If they ever need to get onto it or they need to remind themselves, view it, it's in one place, right? It's not on some stupid Excel document. Obviously, you have other companies that do password management, etc. That's different, but from a documentation point of view, this is a good password storage tool as opposed to a password management tool like, you know, Keeper and KeePass, and you have others as well. Anyhow, I'm digressing. Right to yours. So we've looked at documentation, we've looked at the documents you can upload, we've looked at requesters, sites, contracts. We've briefly looked at invoices. We're going to look at that, try to look at that later. Let's get into the assets. This is the exciting part, right? So currently I've only added one test machine on here. So let's go ahead and press that, right? Now, as you can see, it gives us a nice dashboard. Ooh, look at this. Look at that. So you know, we've got a bit of information. Let me just zoom out a little bit because I have can I zoom in? Yep, 110. Fine, we'll leave it at 110. Just maximize that. We can see a nice dashboard in relation to their hardware, I would say. Yeah, so we've got CPU, we've got the memory, we've got network traffic. Now we're going to look at integrations, integrated it with our Acronis, right? We do a lot with Acronis. We provide a lot of sort of MSPs with the Acronis reseller. Shameless plug, if you need any help with Acronis, let us know, we'll do our best. And so therefore I've installed the antivirus on here. So with the Acronis integration, it's amazing because once you put in your client ID and you integrate it, you can actually deploy Acronis and look at the status of it from within SuperOps. That's good, you know, because it just simplifies things. You don't have to use two portals to be able to deploy things, right? Now I know that we're already in this video like at least half an hour, and I know that if I go through all these bit in detail, it might take a bit of time and whatnot, but I'm just going to try as much as possible without rushing through it too much. In details, we're able to see, as with most good RMMs, things that are relating to the hardware, like CPU, RAM, what's going on with the disk. Now this is cool. I've not yet seen open ports on other RMMs, okay, because normally they don't really tell you too much, but I presume this is literally it doing like a net stat and just telling us what is sort of open. Don't know why it's taking a long time. Last time I checked it wasn't, but let's just press. Ooh, it tried to come up then. I think it's fine. So it looks like that isn't loading, which is interesting. So user logs, last login time. Now it's only showing this once, right? Because I've installed it like literally yesterday or today, this agent. But I would presume that every time someone would log in, or maybe even log in, then we'll be able to get it. This is a great way of actually finding out if a user has logged into their computer or what time they logged into their computer. Also, we have our event logs as normal. You know, you're able to obviously filter it, and we can see our network adapters on here. Hardware, obviously we can see the you know, status of it as well. The status saying okay. Now, although we're on here, I'm just gonna go to the page where you can actually see all your assets in one place, right? So I'm gonna go to modules, I'm gonna click on assets. Now this is when you get a list of them. Now this is really cool. If I go ahead and press plus, multiple mailboxes, so I'm going to create, which is really cool, asset purely because this is what I was talking about. I'll cancel this now. Okay, just get rid of that. We're gonna create an asset view. So I press plus. Now I'm gonna put the name for this, assets with smart. Let's just put favorites, right? Shared view, so the rest of the team can access this. Now match any of these conditions, and we're going to say that not the status, but the disk smart status is not okay, right? So let's save that. There we go. Can you see? Obviously nothing should come up, thankfully. But now if I go home, and this is what I was referred to right in the beginning of the video as well, and if I add a widget and we want to say we want to see the assets with smart failures, so I've added that here now. Let's make that really small, right? So there's none. So in my home page, if there's certain things, sorry for that, if there's certain things I really want to be able to see quickly without doing too many things that are quite important, for example, assets with smart failures where the hard drive is about to fail, the SSD is about to fail, then that should come up straight away. If there's a number there, then obviously we need to address it. So something like that would be great on, you know, your homepage. The other cool thing about your homepage, and I know I'll backtrack here, but I promise I'll go back to our assets, is if we put this on the side here, can we do that? No, we can't. I'm gonna say the cool thing is that you can actually move across and it'll be like dashboard, but it doesn't look like you can do that. It's only going portrait, going up and down. Okie dokie. I'm gonna cancel this all off. Go back to our assets. We're able to obviously download agents, and before we download an agent, we will select a client and we will select a site on here as well. They currently support Mac and Windows, no Linux stuff yet, although they do plan on doing that in the future. Obviously we have a bit of a thingamabob here, a bit of a log terminal, right? Now this is good because I'm able to open up CMD as the system or a logged in user. Now certain times when you, for example, need to map a network drive, you want to be able to do that from the user, you know, command prompt. Obviously this is me talking in an environment where there's no Active Directory, you don't have group policies, etc. But you know, this is actually pretty cool. So if I do this, it'll click here to reconnect. Okay, so that worked. So, you know, host name, oh, if I can spell it correctly, Ryzen32, you know, just random stuff that you can actually do from here, so from your command prompt. Now, let's see how it looks like with PowerShell. Did it change to blue or is it just black? Oh, it's black, that's fine, you know, it works, great. When I do type stuff, it does look like it's not extremely responsive. Like I don't know if you'll be able to hear the delay within this, but to be honest with you, I just think that it's fine for what it is, purely because it's going through a window. It's got to go through the internet connection, go to my machine, then do something. Like, okay, I'm just gonna press enter on my keyboard. It's not too bad. I'm just being picky, aren't I? Alright, forget that. That's good. It seems okay. Scripting. Oh my days, I could go all day and talk about the scripting side of things, but it's been 38 minutes already. We'll probably just go through it a teeny weeny bit. Let's click on details. We've already looked at details. We were at hardware. Video card, obviously we're able to see what's going on here, and page file information. Apps. Now we're able to obviously see any of the processes that are happening at this moment in time, but Synchro MSP also you're able to create certain software sort of bundles and things like that. Looks like you could do. Oh, okay. So now manage software. Let's go to that. Okay, so let's click on settings and we're gonna click on software bundle. Now default software bundle is what they give you. This is basically just chocolatey, and you can create different bundles on here. You can assign a software bundle to a policy and the policy gets assigned to that asset. Chocolatey is great, and I think all RMMs should use chocolatey because, you know, the amount of things that you can actually look for within chocolatey is crazy. Like you can even install Office 365 from it. Office 365. You can even install these other little bits and bobs. Business. Let's just say we want to install, I don't know, let's just say install OBS. Is it there? Oh yeah, it is. Well, OBS Studio. Pretty awesome. So let's cancel that. So that's what it means on the other asset page. Where it says that software being managed by apps, managed software. So only software that is installed through SuperOps here will be displayed here. You can see a full list of the software installed in the asset using the software tab. Okie dokie. Again, IT documentation, we've gone through that. Policies. Now they have two types of policy assignments. One is where it's quite advanced and you have to look at filters and do that. I'll show you where that is in the settings. And the other type of policy assignment is actually from like a hierarchy level. So you have a blanket policy and it goes down as default, and you can change it according to either client, or you can change it according to individual devices. So we can do alert management. These are some of the default ones that are there within performance monitoring. Process service monitoring, this is good for something like monitoring, I don't know, Sage data service, for example, just making sure that service status is not running, service name, I don't know, S data, right? Let's just say it's not running for 5 minutes. Then you can create a ticket, you can do a reboot, you can log it off, you can clear DNS. You can also log off user, clear event logs, defrag drive. Now I'm not Windows service, stop service. Oh great. So if the Sage data service is off for 5 minutes, go ahead and start that. Right, this is what you would expect from a policy. And let's just say we want to create a ticket, right? We want to say alright, we don't have any templates in there, but a ticket template is proactive monitoring. Let's just say proactive monitoring template. Sage data service has been started, just to let you know, basically. And because it's going to be on the client account, now when you come to generating reports, you can actually show to your clients, look, we found that Sage data service wasn't running, or the print spooler wasn't running, or there was another issue that we found, and automatically this is what we did. Now you can really show the value of the tools and you as a company when you do things like that. So then obviously you can put on your different statuses for how it was resolved, or if it was a resolve, if it was a close. So you can have different policies in there, and it does go quite deep. General monitoring, right? This is obviously for uptime purposes. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's cancel that. So patch management, this is quite powerful in the way that it's able to really look at the fine details of obviously the categories and severities when you want to schedule the deployment as well. So you could do automatic approvals, depending on what it is, and also reboot options. Big thing, right? The amount of times people say, oh, my computer is pending reboot for ages. Well, you could ask them, or you could force reboot. Reboot immediately, but allow the user to save their work. It just depends on how you guys do your stuff, and also what kind of client it is, what workstation it is. This is all configurable here. If the user is not logged in, reboot immediately, or even reboot later. Now I guess this is good for anything that's done out of hours, but again, you have to just make sure that clients are saving the work. So scheduled actions, you can run certain scripts at a scheduled action. Now obviously, empty recycle bin, or you know, there's these other things. You can also add your own scripts in as well. So although this is a list, you know, I know some companies, they requested us that users should automatically log off after a certain time, so you can do that as well. Want to run a schedule every single day at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Great, save that, apply it to specific devices or a company-wide, you know, that's up to you. Antivirus now currently says there are no antivirus is integrated, although on our asset in the summary we can see that Acronis Cyber Protect is there and it's showing. So I raised this with SuperOps. They said that we have integration with the backup. We don't fully have integration with the antivirus aspect of things just yet. Now we're gonna look at integrations in literally 5 minutes, and we'll see what softwares it has integration with as well. Let me close some of these tabs down. So as you can see, this is quite fast, right? Like when I'm clicking on things, it's happening quickly. It's built in React, and you know, that's something I like about the platform. Other platform, and although this is US hosted, or we're actually in the UK, it's still fast. They're looking at getting a European presence for their service soon. I don't know what I'm clicking on right now. Let's get back onto this. We can see that any alerts that will come up, patching, we'll be able to see any details in relation to that, especially when there's been patch installation has not been triggered. Why? Because we've not actually scheduled any patch management. Now we also do patch management via our Acronis portal as well, because that does it quite nicely, but I will have to sort of see how that works, you know, with them both on there. But when you assign a when you deploy a the Acronis agent on here, you can actually choose which protection plan, you know, and the protection plan reflects the settings in Acronis. Now if you're familiar with that, then you don't need to tick the patch management on Acronis. You could just do it from here, and I would do it from here personally, purely because it's nice, it's in one place, you can just get on with it kind of thing, right? Scripts, we're able to see when we had these certain scripts on here. Install Acronis on Windows. Oh, what was that? Alright, well, it looks like I can't see much more details, but I think this was when I initially installed the agent on this asset here. Remote management, we can go ahead and sort of remote in. By default it uses Splashtop, right? Now let's go to the integration side of things. Marketplace. By default in your subscription it includes Splashtop, which is okay for us. I mean, it does a job. We're able to remote in, we can copy and paste, it works fine. There's an okay file manager. But if you have your own team viewer or ConnectWise control, you can go ahead and integrate it with that as well. I've gone ahead and linked it with Zero. Azure. Now Azure is actually pretty cool because you're able to keep, especially now if you do things like Intune and other things, then you can go ahead and have the users sort of synced, and data is kind of in check on both sides of things here, which is quite nice, you know. So there's a few of the things here. I'll have to do a bit more checking out with that. Pax8. Now for those of us who use Pax8, this is great because, you know, as soon as the subscription changes on Pax8, we'll have that reflect the subscription in the contract, and that would then go ahead and reflect it on the billing aspect of things as well. Stripe. Now personally, I'm not going to enable this if I was to use this company SuperOps. Now the reason why we don't want to enable it for us is because we want our payments to be taken out via the Zero invoices. Acronis, we've integrated that. WebRoot and Bitdefender. So if you use Bitdefender, you will be able to deploy Bitdefender, and you'll also be able to see Bitdefender coming up in the antivirus policies there as well. And same with WebRoot, and we've gone through these. right? That's pretty much it for the settings there. Let's move on to more. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something within the assets. Alerts, patches, policies. Have I gone through policies? Yes, I have. I think we're okay. Yep. Oh, what's this? Oh, we can change the asset name there as well. Data backup. This is when we go ahead and we can choose any specific protection plan, and this is actually pulling it from across. All right, let's leave this alone, right? And I press a refresh button. Let's go to settings, and we're gonna click on invoice. It's not okay. This is actually a subscription for us. MSP information. We're able to see here the branding. So the main logo, the favicon. The main logo is here. The favicon is obviously on the tab when you go ahead and see that on this side. And we can see a portal sort of name. You could put in your own portal URL, and that is basically just entering a CNAME record within your DNS to be able to have people to go onto that. And this is really good because you want to be able to say to clients, can you go to support dot whatever your MSP name is .com, and you know, as opposed to something else. So you put in your details, currency, which is good. We put in some details here, and your business hours. Now it's important to configure this correctly, because when you do SLA management and look at how your policies, etc., then it asks you, do you want the SLAs to be applied to your business hours, or do you want the SLAs to be applied 24/7? Holiday list. Now currently it just says US holidays. I probably need to make a holiday one for the UK, and you just do that from going to holiday management here. Domains and emails, right? Now this is the part where you go ahead and yeah, this is right. This is the part where you go ahead and put in any custom addresses for your outgoing mailboxes and your incoming forwarding rules, and same with sort of your sales accounts. Now you can have multiple mailboxes, which is really cool, purely because let's go down, right? Add new mailbox. Alright, let me move my face out of the way so you can see. Add new mailbox. Now when you add a new mailbox, you can actually assign a mailbox to a client or even a technician group. What does this mean for us, really? Now, for example, we also do a VoIP, right? As an IT company, we provide VoIP platform. And sometimes we get notifications from that VoIP platform in relation to its systems. So what I would be doing is creating a new mailbox on here and choosing which client that the notification should be associated to. That way, again, when I print off my report generation, I can show them that, look, we also handled a notification that we got from your VoIP system, and we did this and that to it. So that's actually sort of pretty cool in that way, where you can have association of separate mailboxes. So I don't know, let's just say I don't know the company's name. So let's just say the Yodel, right? I'm just saying Yodel. You know, the Yodel at that's Yodel's notifications. Let's just press save and see what it does. Domain verification pending. There we go. Then we would put in these records, and we would also set up, ensure that the CNAMEs are set up here in the DNS, and we would make sure that the mail is forwarded to that email address that they're supplying. Now, I presume that when the email forwarding is set up, it knows obviously which where to put it, purely because of the fact that it's come from an email address, isn't it? So it knows that it's come from Yodel, or it's going to Yodel, and now it's being forwarded from Yodel out to theirs. So then it will be able to match it with that inbox, which I think is pretty cool. I have noticed I spelled our company name wrong, but this is just a test account anyhow. Technicians, you add them on, you make them different roles or whatever, you can go from there. Holiday management, this is what we were talking about previously. We were able to add holidays, specific year. We would put in all the bits and bobs for our holidays. Email notifications, this is where you're able to edit the templates, and client notifications, where they get the invoice, request replied, ticket notifications. Now, one thing I would really like is for these guys to be able to have some sort of integration with Slack. Slack is awesome, and or even Teams, because like the last thing you want to do is you go to your computer inbox and there's a million of notifications there of everyone else's stuff. So you just got to make sure that it's nice and it's streamlined, right? Because you don't want to be flooded with data. Service catalog. This is when we imported the items from zero, right? But normally you can actually, if you don't have anything imported, there'll be a button here that says create items, etc. And you're able to add them to contracts and invoices. Tax, you go ahead and enter in any VAT rules that you might need. And time tracking. Time tracking is actually quite nice. You can see here there's always the timers button. If I press that, I have no running timers. Now actually I do wish that there was something where we'd be able to press timer, start, which client, what ticket, maybe something that's always accessible here as well. Technician roles. So this is when you can actually create different roles for your technicians, and this is when you can create the groups. Now this is what I was talking about previously, where you can have certain techies to be associated with certain clients. Status is default mapping. At creation we want it to be new. At resolution, say it's resolved. Closure is closed. You can create different statuses for your tickets. That's actually pretty important. Sometimes you might actually use a ticket status to identify a process in that workflow, as opposed to the ticket itself, etc. So you can do different things here, like waiting for supplier statuses. We will enter that in. Default mapping. At creation we want it to be new. At resolution, where it's resolved. Closure is closed. I mentioned to you in relation to different statuses for your tickets. That's actually pretty important. Sometimes you might actually use a ticket status to identify the priority value process in that workflow, as opposed to the ticket itself, impact and urgency. So on this side we've got impact on the priority table at the top, waiting for supplier. We have urgency here. We would enter that in, and we can allocate certain levels of them. Now by default they've sort of already done it for us, and it makes sense the way they've done it. I mentioned to you in relation to from a diagonal point of view. So critical is here. You got high and high. You got medium, medium, medium. You got low and this is how this is generally how the assignment matrix is obviously change. There is the priority values here. Then of course it doesn't look like you can change colors. It's fine. But this is impact and urgency. So on this side we've got impact on the priority table. I created these categories for tickets. I would love to know that when a ticket comes in, and we can make there's a reason for allocate certain levels of them. Now by default, one for Active Directory already done it for us, and it makes sense the way they've done it. It's like these are sub-directories diagonal point of view. So critical is here. Hardware high and high. You got medium, medium, medium. Memory low and you got very low. This is network how the assignment 365 is software. There is a need to the ticket change that to, then of course that can be changed. Let's have a category of, this is because I turned it on, or physical intervention. I created these categories for tickets. I would love to know that when a ticket comes in, there's a reason for that they are requesting or that they are requesting. So I created one for Active Directory, you know, or is it in relation to password resets, or these are subdirectories, and a lot of it falls under hardware as well. But hardware, let's just say the CPU, disk, keyboard, memory, mouse, causes as well, network issues. Is it in relation to Office? This is something that's manually put in. That the ticket is in that way too, but I do believe that let's have a run category of where we come here advanced configuration. You can actually intervention use the causes as a means to run certain triggers and automation. There is a desk move. This is here requesting as default that they are requesting. I have no idea how to actually. Don't know what else under physical intervention. You know, add more. I don't think you can add more resolution codes, but you know. Other things, but I think causes as well. Need to. Maybe now, this is something that's manually put in. From here, it looks like it's something that's done in that way. But I do believe that in these are the SLA policies that we went through and had a look at previously. Use the causes as a means to run. So let's just say automation. The priority is high. We've got a 30-minute first response. Escalate that within 45 minutes. And execute business hours. Then perform the following action. You know, first line help desk, blah blah blah. Add more resolution codes. So you can create more. And you can also assign policies to clients. Maybe that is. It just depends. But from here, it looks like you can. It doesn't look like you can do it from when you are editing the policy. These are the SLA policies that we went through and had a look at previously when we were assigning them to a specific contract. Let's try adding. So let's just say. The priority is high. We've got a 30-minute first response. Escalate that within 45 minutes, and execute in business hours. Then perform the following action. First line help desk, blah blah blah, etc. So I'm just gonna create more. And you can also assign policies to clients. I have now saved it. If I go back to settings, I can go into here and I can see that it's already it doesn't look like shown from when you are editing the policy you have to go to execute the service level agreement. If you look at this, we may see, which is pretty awesome. No, we don't. Next, let's try add and again, this is Robert 9 company. Pretty cool where you can actually configure service level agreements. Let's see if it's a need. Where my voice is going. I've been talking flat out. Associate these guys for 1 hour. If you guys are still watching this, I rate you, honestly. I wouldn't even watch myself. I am now going to have a hard time. If I go back to settings, uploading this video. Anyhow, I should have probably split it up as a lesson learned, right? Probably get more views that way. But all I want to do is really just have a look at this platform and go through it for you. From an IT point of, and again, as opposed to from a sales perspective. Pretty cool where you can do. So you could do different configurations, service level agreements. For your service level. My voice is going. I've been talking flat out. This is actually pretty cool. 1 hour. I could actually. If you guys are still watching this, triggers, I rate. But let's just honestly, I wouldn't even watch myself. And advanced automation. Uploading this video. Anyhow, I should have probably split it automation as a lesson learned, right? To probably get more views potentially. But all I want to do really just have a look at this platform. So you don't. I don't think you have to actually select from an IT point of view as opposed to from a sales perspective. Right? So let's just say different configurations here and the for your service levels. This is actually pretty cool. I could actually go a bit more deep into event triggers, right? Now I created this ticket source tab as a custom field for automation. Now this is automation in relation. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and tickets as well. So you don't custom notification. You have to actually select. Yeah, let's just you could do compose email, or you can even run another set of automated. Let's just say a ticket is created, run books, and maybe create the task list, etc. You can move to trash, whatever it might be. The ticket source is okay. Now I created. Let's just say that tab as a custom field for tickets is so much that you can actually do here. Website. Okay, cancel that off. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and where were we? Custom notifications. Yeah, let's just you could do compose email, or you could even run if tickets have been idle for so many things and run books, we need to do something maybe for them. Create right? So let's just create a trigger. Let's just say a ticket has been idle for a full day, right? Okay. Let's just say that we want that. So it looks like the ticket has been raised. So much that you can actually do here. I'm gonna cancel that off. Right, great. As urgent. We were where were choose operator. Time triggers. Urgency is high, right? And it's been idle. No one's done anything with it for a full day. If tickets have been idle, then I would so many things. We need to do something for them, right? So let's just create a trigger. Let's just say a ticket has been idle for a full, maybe do an email to the manager. Hey, and we want that such a person has got a high ticket they've not done has been raised, or we can assign it to a higher level of help desk, as urgent, something like that, for example. We can say if it's been idle, then urgency is the one who's high, right? Second line, it's been idle, no one's done anything with it for a full day. Maybe we can say, well, then only if the assignee technician group name is maybe do an email first line, right? To the manager is if the urgency is high and it's been such a person first line help desk and they're not doing anything and it's been idle for a full day, let's go ahead and assign it to higher level second line help desk, automatic desk, so for them to be able to deal something with like that, for example. So you could do a lot of time if it's been idle then, which is great to be able to enforce third line, ensure you guys do something that with things are maybe we can say, well, only if the assignee I love this ticket scheduler function. There are certain repetitive tasks that we need to ensure is, for example, certain things that require manual backup. So what we said is, if the urgency is high and it's been currently assigned to first line help desk, you could do a scheduled ticket and it's been idle for a full day. Let's go ahead and assign it to second line help desk automatically. So for them to maybe there's something that they need to fill out. So you could do a lot of time triggers as well, which is great to be able within that. Enforce and also ensure assign it that things priority, medium, category. You could do a few of the category bits and bobs there as well. I love this ticket scheduler function. There are certain repetitive tasks asset class. Currently, there's only two. For example, Mac certain things and Windows. We're not really able to add or do happen on a daily basis. Server in check or something. Yeah, you could do a scheduled ticket when periodically every day at certain times. So if I go to our asset, right. Maybe there's something that they need to fill out, right? That they do. On this front page, that's within that, and we can also assign it priority, medium, category. You could do a few of the category bits and bobs there as well. That's actually pretty awesome. Now, asset class. Currently, there's only two Mac and Windows. We're not really able to add or do. Okay, yeah. So if I go to our asset, right, on this front page on the asset info here, right, we can see that there is this certain level of information here. We've got asset information, uptime, host name, etc. Now we can actually configure this within the class here, and you can actually put in different things. You can rename them, you can move them about. Asset notes, something that I've put at the bottom of these as well. Asset notes, enter. This PC is a test machine. Don't really like it. Okay, whatever. Save. That is interesting. I have no idea why it's done that or what it's done. Let's just press refresh in here and just see the bottom. Did I even write anything down? Okay, so it looks like the asset notes are bugging out a bit. That's a nice find. So we'll have to look into that later or speak to them, or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. But no, we were able to move things about and add like the asset template, which you can see or the asset information template, which you can see when you are viewing a computer. Let's go back onto here, go back into settings. Let's go back down, and policy management. Okay, so these are in relation to the policies, which we've also looked into as well. We can change policies depending on the client and the other information here, and also assets at the top. When we filter it down, we can make the changes, press save, go back, and we'll be fine. Let's go back. IT documentation is great. System tray icon, this is what I like. Now, I don't know, I'm in mixed feelings with this tray icon, right? And I'll show you why. I'm going to show you. I'm going to move on to my other screen, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? So let's get this tray icon up. Now, I've mentioned this to them, and so I've clicked on the tray icon and I press raise ticket, and this is what comes up. Out of the bat, I don't really like that there. It looks like they need to sort their favicon thing out. Secondly, it's asking for the email subject and the description. Now, we as an IT company, we also use currently Synchro MSP. Right, now I'm going to show you side by side when we click on raise quick ticket from the tray icon from Synchro MSP. Look at the difference. You understand? This makes me want to fill out the stuff. Look at it, it's got a nice logo there. We can include an image of the screen. It's a bit more advanced. Here we only have email subject and description. What SuperOps have really sort of focused on is the creation of tickets from mailboxes. Now, that's not always the case for every IT company, right? We have traditionally always had tickets raised from a system tray icon. So I showed them this, and they said, look, they'll look into it. With Synchro, if this asset that I'm currently using was associated with a contact, then it would pre-fill name, email, and phone, right? And you would just have to type in the subject and description. But here, you type in your email, your subject, your description, and you press submit, and it goes to us. Because SuperOps have the ability to have multiple types of tickets in terms of the templates, which we're going to look at in pretty much the next thing, it would have been nice that we were able to apply various ticketing templates to different clients or assets, so that when they go ahead and click on the system tray icon, then it would open up the template on the app for them, if you know what I'm saying. Right here, so you can edit the system tray icon here. You can add multiple items. You can also execute commands, different scripts here. For example, the command name could be clear data or something, and you can go ahead and attach the script which clears data. Or let's just say the Outlook has crashed and Outlook help or something. They'll be able to click on this tray icon and sort of go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my window here, and I'll show you the tray icon. There we go. Can you see here? This is the tray icon that we've arranged there, and this is our tray icon for Synchro. Synchro also have a chat with us, and I don't want to talk too much about them because the video is about SuperOps, but it's nice to be able to compare two because I've got them as real life examples with us. But SuperOps doesn't have a chat function. So if we wanted to implement chat within our menu option, I would probably open up a URL, and the URL being like the shortcode which opens up WhatsApp for Business, for example. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for us if we don't get a chat function. Very rarely clients use that anyway on Synchro. But whenever you move from tool to tool, you hate to lose functionality. Now these are the tickets, the templates we have currently this IT support template which we're able to change, have custom fields, do different things with them, you know, and sort of go from there, put in different fields, see what runbooks it has access to, client visibility to all clients, specific clients, associate. Ooh, nice. So you can have a specific form for different type of clients to really give that personalized ticket creation experience. Now, can you remember when we went to the client portal where they logged in as a client admin and they were able to see, you know, what form they wanted to use? Now this is when that would be in, you know, being able to see that. Okay, so we can see the review. Hi, looks like we can choose. I don't know if we can actually choose that anyhow as a default. No, it was just for me to be able to press a button. Projects. We're going to create a project template. So let's just say that email migration. Now we want to be able to add cool stuff on here. Create a new task. So this is the first task is, let's just say obtain information. Please obtain logins from your clients to 365 admin. Okay, something like that. Now let's just say we want this to be done by the first line. If we can specify technician, that's fine. We can make this the first thing from the ticket. This should potentially take us, I don't know, whatever. We can say that's going to take us 20 minutes or something. Press save. Other tasks. How come? Great. So let's just say that the task template. Oh yeah, because you can create task templates. Anyway, email migration. Milestones, you know, you can have different milestones in here, but let's just press save because I don't really want to go ahead and actually do that. Projects, email migration template, that should take us 20 minutes apparently, right? I wish email migrations took us 20 minutes. So I mean, it doesn't take that long, but it doesn't take that less time either, especially when there's quite a few mailboxes and you're transferring it from Ionos to Office 365 or something. Anyhow, task templates. This is what we just saw here. So let's just create a task template here. So I guess we could put more information on here as well. Would it be nice to have like checkboxes inside here? So we have a, you know, as opposed to, you know, creating this, because some steps take quite like 10-15 tasks, you see. So first task, and having to create one of these for every single one of them, it's probably going to take some time. So you know, like how simple task management systems, they've got like a button and you just press done, it takes it off, like Trello or, you know, ClickUp and these things. That would be nice to have it here, but the way they've done it here as well, it's fine, because, you know, even if there is 50 tasks that are going to be assigned to different technicians or groups, or there's details in relation to that, it's all going to fall under the same project anyway. Canned responses are pretty cool. This is when you turned it on and on again. That's great. So as you can see, there's templates that we can sort of mess about on here as well. Custom fields, ticket source. This is, I put that in there to be able to see where they came from. You know, that's how it looks like. And mouse is just freezing about. Okay, clients. You know, strangely enough, not strangely enough, I do sometimes like to put in the MX DNS records inside here as a custom field for the client. Now this is us personally, something that I put in now and again, to be able to see things. So I just thought let's just put it in there. Requesters. So let's just say it's a custom field for a requester, and maybe we want to see the job title, and it's actually multiple choice. So let's just say they are a director, they might be a admin, they might be a team leader, something like this, right? So now when we go ahead and create a requester later, we'll also be able to see these multiple choices as well. Run books. Approvals, do we need an approver? Okay, task templates. Import. Let's just say we've got first task and we're putting these three in there. And common troubleshooting, press done. Run book test. Okay, so let's press save on this. So you can basically sort of have automation with standardizing this procedure as well. You know, it might be onboard a client as a run book, and it would have you know, create import remove reply templates, approvals, you know, different tasks to be able to do that. I guess with something like this, it's depending on, oh, my face is still right in the middle, right, put it aside. It depends on how you know, you guys run, or how we run as a company, and being able to start populating all these to make that operation standardized. Every company works differently, and the thing is about RMMs and PSA tools is it's not really too much about the installation of agents and these things, you know. That's what we see from the face of it, but to be able to utilize the whole platform in really streamlining what we do on a daily basis, that's when we start using runbooks and templates, and that's what takes time, because there's a lot of thinking to do behind it. You know, who's going to do what, where's it going to go, you know, and all these other little cogs, and how they all interconnect with each other. So that sort of really needs time to be able to do that. Customer service satisfaction surveys. Now, I did the star one, but you can also have it where it's binary, so just thumbs up, thumbs down. They can put things in there. I do like to have stars personally, because then they can choose like sort of 4 stars or 3 or full 5, you know, so I can really understand why were they 4-star, or, you know, for example, what was it that we could do better. Whereas binary is like great for metrics, like, you know, 100% of our tickets, people loved it, you know, but, you know, I personally want to do the star thing. So let's have a look here. Now, single sign-on, yes, you can configure a single sign-on. Now, that should be probably medium at least, you know, maybe even high. Yeah, let's do that. So request a password policy. You can also have IP restrictions as well, with where the portal can actually be signed in from for you in your account. Marketplace and customer support access, giving them access to it. So this is really sort of going through some things I've sort of skipped. I'm very sorry for that. I've tried to explore it to the best of my ability. We also saw a couple of problems, especially with the asset notes and a couple of other things as well. It would be nice to probably look into that more in a later, I'll have to do that later, you know, and just see what happens, and we'll sort of go from there. Oh, we didn't even look at reports, did we? Should we have a look at reports quickly? Go on, let's be cheeky. Now the problem is with this is it really makes sense when you start having a lot of data and seeing the metrics on charts. So we can see the tickets, assets, patch health, antivirus health, data backup that would integrate with Acronis, antivirus currently is integration with WebRoot and Bitdefender to be able to see the that thing as well. So let's just say that we have assets, right? And we want to be able to remote session count. Ooh, that's nice. Count. So if I do generate chart, it should show me like one or two. Yeah, one. So this is how many times we've gone ahead and remoted in, and also the asset. But no, we were able to move things about and add like the asset template, which you can see, or the asset information template, which you can see when you are viewing a computer. Let's go back onto here, go back into settings. Let's go back down, and policy management. Okay, so these are in relation to the policies which we've also looked into as well. We can change policies depending on the client and the other information here, and also assets at the top. When we filter it down, we can make the changes, press save, go back, and we'll be fine. Let's go back. IT documentation is great. System tray icon, this is what I like. Now, I don't know, I'm in mixed feelings with this tray icon, right? And I'll show you why. I'm going to show you. I'm going to move on to my other screen, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? So let's get this tray icon up. Now I've mentioned this to them, and so I've clicked on the tray icon and I press raise ticket, and this is what comes up. Out of the bat, I don't really like that there. It looks like they need to sort their favicon thing out. Secondly, it's asking for the email subject and the description. Now, we as an IT company, we also use currently Synchro MSP. Right, now I'm going to show you side by side when we click on raise quick ticket from the tray icon from Synchro MSP. Look at the difference. You understand? This makes me want to fill out stuff. Look at it, it's got a nice logo there. We can include an image of the screen. It's a bit more advanced. Here we only have email subject and description. What SuperOps have really sort of focused on is the creation of tickets from mailboxes. Now, that's not always the case for every IT company, right? We have traditionally always had tickets raised from a system tray icon. So I showed them this, and they said, look, they'll look into it. With Synchro, if this asset that I'm currently using was associated with a contact, then it would pre-fill name, email, and phone, right? And you would just have to type in the subject and description. But here, you type in your email, your subject, your description, and you press submit, and it goes to us. Because SuperOps have the ability to have multiple types of tickets in terms of the templates, which we're going to look at in pretty much the next thing, it would have been nice that we were able to apply various ticketing templates to different clients or assets, so that when they go ahead and click on the system tray icon, then it would open up the template on the app for them, if you know what I'm saying. Right here, so you can edit the system tray icon here. You can add multiple items. You can also execute commands, different scripts here. For example, the command name could be clear data or something, and you can go ahead and attach the script which clears data. Or let's just say the Outlook has crashed and Outlook help or something. They'll be able to click on this tray icon and sort of go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my window here, and I'll show you the tray icon. There we go. Can you see here? This is the tray icon that we've arranged there, and this is our tray icon for Synchro. Synchro also have a chat with us, and I don't want to talk too much about them because the video is about SuperOps, but it's nice to be able to compare two because I've got them as real life examples with us. But SuperOps doesn't have a chat function. So if we wanted to implement chat within our menu option, I would probably open up a URL, and the URL being like the shortcode which opens up WhatsApp for Business, for example. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for us if we don't get a chat function. Very rarely clients use that anyway on Synchro, but you know, whenever you move from tool to tool, you hate to lose functionality. Now these are the tickets, the templates. We have currently this IT support template which we're able to change, have custom fields, do different things with them, you know, and sort of go from there, put in different fields, see what runbooks it has access to, client visibility to all clients, specific clients, associate. Ooh, nice. So you can have a specific form for different type of clients to really give that personalized ticket creation experience. Now, can you remember when we went to the client portal where they logged in as a client admin and they were able to see, you know, what form they wanted to use? Now this is when that would be in, you know, being able to see that. Okay, so we can see the review. Hi, looks like we can choose. I don't know if we can actually choose that anyhow as a default. No, it was just for me to be able to press a button. Projects. We're going to create a project template. So let's just say that email migration. Now we want to be able to add cool stuff on here. Create a new task. So this is the first task is, let's just say obtain information. Please obtain logins from your clients to 365 admin. Okay, something like that. Now let's just say we want this to be done by the first line. If we can specify technician, that's fine. We can make this the first thing from the ticket. This should potentially take us, I don't know, whatever. We can say that's going to take us 20 minutes or something. Press save. Other tasks. How come? Great. So let's just say that the task template. Oh yeah, because you can create task templates. Anyway, email migration. Milestones, you know, you can have different milestones in here, but let's just press save because I don't really want to go ahead and actually do that. Projects, email migration template, that should take us 20 minutes apparently, right? I wish email migrations took us 20 minutes. So I mean, it doesn't take that long, but it doesn't take that less time either, especially when there's quite a few mailboxes and you're transferring it from Ionos to Office 365 or something. Anyhow, task templates. This is what we just saw here. So let's just create a task template here. So I guess we could put more information on here as well. Would it be nice to have like checkboxes inside here? So we have a, you know, as opposed to, you know, creating this, because some steps take quite like 10-15 tasks, you see. So first task, and having to create one of these for every single one of them, it's probably going to take some time. So you know, like how simple task management systems, they've got like a button and you just press done, it takes it off, like Trello or, you know, ClickOpen and these things. That would be nice to have it here, but the way they've done it here as well, it's fine, because, you know, even if there is 50 tasks that are going to be assigned to different technicians or groups, or there's details in relation to that, it's all going to fall into the same project anyway. canned responses are pretty cool. This is when you have you turned it on and on again. That's great. So as you can see, there's templates that we can sort of mess about on here as well. Custom fields, ticket source. This is, I put that in there to be able to see where they came from. You know, that's how it looks like. And mouse is just freezing about. Okay, clients. You know, strangely enough, not strangely enough, I do sometimes like to put in the MX DNS records inside here as a custom field for the client. Now this is us personally, something that I put in now and again to be able to see things. So I just thought, let's just put it in there. Requesters. So let's just say it's a custom field for a requester, and maybe we want to see the job title. And it's actually multiple choice, so let's just say they are a director, they might be a admin, they might be a team leader, something like this, right? So now when we go ahead and create a requester later, we'll also be able to see these multiple choices as well. Run books. Approvals, do we need an approver? Okay, task templates. Import. Let's just say we've got first task and we're putting these three in there. And common troubleshooting. Press done. Run book test. Okay, so let's press save on this. So you can basically sort of have automation with standardizing this procedure as well. You know, it might be onboard a client as a runbook, and it would have, you know, create, import, remove, reply templates, approvals. You know, different tasks to be able to do that. I guess with something like this, it's depending on. Oh, my face is still right in the middle, right, put it aside. It depends on how you know you guys run, or how we run as a company, and being able to start populating all these to make that operation standardized. Every company works differently, and the thing is about RMMs and PSA tools is it's not really too much about the installation of agents and these things, you know. That's what we see from the face of it, but to be able to utilize the whole platform in really streamlining what we do on a daily basis, that's when we start using runbooks and templates, and that's what takes time, because there's a lot of thinking to do behind it. You know, who's going to do what, where's it going to go, you know, and all these other little cogs, and how they all interconnect with each other. So that sort of really needs time to be able to do that. Customer service satisfaction surveys. Now I did the star one, but you can also have it where it's binary, so just thumbs up, thumbs down. They can put things in there. I do like to have stars personally, because then they can choose like sort of 4 stars or 3 or full 5, you know, so I can really understand why were they 4-star, or, you know, for example, what was it that we could do better. Whereas binary is like great for metrics, like, you know, 100% of our tickets, people loved it, you know, but, you know, I personally want to do the star thing. So let's have a look here. Now, single sign-on, yes, you can configure a single sign-on. Now that should be probably medium at least, you know, maybe even high. Yeah, let's do that. So request a password policy. You can also have IP restrictions as well, with where the portal can actually be signed in from for you and your account. Marketplace and customer support access, giving them access to it. So this is really sort of going through. Some things have sort of skipped. I'm very sorry for that. I've tried to explore it to the best of my ability. we also saw a couple of problems, especially with the asset notes and a couple of other things as well. It would be nice to probably look into that more in a later, I'll have to do that later, you know, and just see what happens. And we'll sort of go from there. Oh, we didn't even look at reports, did we? Should we have a look at reports quickly? Go on, let's be cheeky. Now the problem is with this is it really makes sense when you start having a lot of data and seeing the metrics on charts. So we can see the tickets, assets, patch health, antivirus health, data backup that would integrate with Cronus. Antivirus currently is integration with Webroot and Bitdefender to be able to see the that thing as well. So let's just say that we have assets, right? And we want to be able to remote session count. Ooh, that's nice. Count. So if I do generate chart, it should show me like one or two. Yeah, one. So this is how many times we've gone ahead and remoted in. And also the asset relating to that. Group by, pick an attribute. Client name, asset, client, whatever. Okay. So now when this is a chart, right, that we can have different functions and different conditions, and you know, for specific clients and blah blah blah, and then the reports can implement your charts on here, right? You can do this. So we can have small technician tickets. Sorry, I'm just clicking everywhere. I've gone click crazy and whatnot. So let's just press save on here, testy make go, and we should then be able to go onto reports and see that, and then export as PDF. Great, isn't it, when we can export it as PDF? And we can also now print it for some reason, right? Thank you so much. Nice, great. We've got a little logo there, a little thingy here. We've got some chart related information. Fantastic. Let's cancel that. And it looks like it's gone ahead and exported that report on here because it's like a link. Now I think with some of these reports, we are able to share them with clients. So they have their own report link. Hey, executive director, this is the report here that you requested. You wanted to see how many requesters you have that we look after and how many computers, blah blah blah. Boom, done, sent. So we could just do that, done, press share, cancel, whatever. You can do that, which I think is really cool. Looks like you can have, oh yeah, there we go, all charts, my charts, and wall charts. Right, here we go. I think I'm gonna stop there. I think we've done quite a lot. We've looked into quite a lot of cool stuff. Overall, I like it. I need to see if it's worth us moving over to, I don't know yet. I'll have to sort of speak to the rest of the team. I'll be reviewing potentially other software, RMMs, going from there and just seeing what happens, okay? And I know that we have now been on the video for 1 hour 30 minutes, but you know what, if you after watching this video think, you know what, I think it's good, I like it, it'll save you a lot of time trying it out and this, that, the, you know, or even you don't like it, you know, it doesn't do what you want it to do, then at least it's all right. So you know, one thing I really like before I end the video is when you click on your little thingy bubble, you can go to the forum release and you can actually see feedback, yep, roadmap. So you can see their roadmap, you know, what they've got in progress, what they've got planned, you know, mandatory tickets, mandatory fields for ticket closure. That'd be great. So if I can make it mandatory as to where the source was, I will do. So then I can actually make a chart and understand where are the tickets coming from. Are they coming from phone calls? Are they coming from email? Are they coming from the desktop? app, or are they coming from, I don't know, thin air or proactive monitoring? Quoting module, that's good. Can't wait for that to happen. White label branding for SuperOps client. Yeah, I guess that's pretty important. Other RMMs, you can do that. You can actually brand and put in your name so that the service name and the installation path and the name of what it is, it doesn't say SuperOps or it doesn't say Synchro or Enable. It says your company name, and that's good for showing your professionalism as well. So I really hope that that it's helped you be able to look into it further. If I ever do sign up with these guys and I've gone ahead and got some sort of a referral link, I will post that in the comments. I'm not shy and gonna try doing things in a sneaky way. I'll just say how it is, and same with other potential things as well. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Please forgive me once again. This is my first sort of video going through things. If I could do things better, please let me know, and hopefully we will look at more things, especially with other sort of software. I do a lot with Linux and open source stuff, so yeah, subscribe if you can or if you want, and keep in touch with things. Thank you so much. So that's Ibi here from Broadband 9.